Yo 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 yo.
Good morning, Angela Yee.
Good morning, DJ Envy.
Charlemagne the God.
Peace to the planet. It's Friday. What's happening?
It's Friday. Amen.
Good morning. You're forgetting something?
Toronto.
Goodness, it's Friday.
Damn, yo, you're gonna stop doing Toronto like that, yo. You're gonna stop. All right? Toronto is with us every step of the way.
How was you saying?
They're not behind us. They're not in front of us. They're walking side by side with us. You see me?
They definitely are. Shout out to Toronto, man. I can't wait to get back to Toronto when they open things back up.
I can't wait to get back to somewhere when they open things back up. You know, it don't even got to be Toronto. Let's just get somewhere, okay?
Right.
Jesus Christ.
Absolutely. So how you guys feeling on this
I just really want
Friday?
to get my passport renewed.
How is that process going?
It's not. I mean, who knows? Everything is.
Have you tried?
They're
Have you
not
tried
expediting.
the passport office? So the passport office is closed?
No, it's not that it's closed. They're just not expediting things. And then because there's not as many people working, it could take like 3 months.
I have a
And
guy.
they're probably sitting there-
So
and they're probably looking at your paperwork saying, where you going?
Yeah, no,
I
I
ain't
have a
going
guy.
nowhere.
I have a guy that I'm sure that can get your stuff done within a couple of days.
yeah, I don't think even expediters can't really do anything about it. They're saying that unless it's a life. Okay, let's see.
I have a
Let's
guy.
see.
I'm telling you, this guy has worked miracles before for a lot of people.
Can he get me a PlayStation?
He can't get you a PlayStation now, and that he cannot do.
What you need a PlayStation for, Angela Yee? Talk to me.
Why?
Since when you like
I have-
PlayStation?
I have my Xbox here. I have a Nintendo Switch. I have all those things. I want a PlayStation.
Oh, so you just have like you have a community of consoles at the house just in case people want to play when they come over and stuff like that?
Yeah, I have it for other people, but I play my little video games too. So
Yeah, I'm looking for that too, because Christmas is right around the corner, and I'm not going out shopping and hunting. I'm not, I'm trying to stay out of the stores. So, yeah, I'm gonna need that too. So if you find somebody, you let me know, and if I find somebody, I'll let you know.
I'm working
The
on
holidays are going to be very interesting this year because holidays are usually a time of reflection and usually a time of celebration. Are we going to be in the holiday spirit when the holidays come around?
Well, we don't
That's
have
what
a
you
choice because we got kids, and
Who's
our
we?
kids are gonna be me and you. Like our kids are in the holiday spirit. They're gonna start with Halloween, which is coming up shortly, then Thanksgiving and Christmas. Kids already started talking about what they want to be for Halloween, so we ain't got no choice.
It's possible. But I just would like to see how
Charlamagne
things
grew
be.
up Jehovah's Witness, and for
I
him,
definitely grew up Jehovah's Witness.
His kids don't
But
want to hear that.
Yeah, my kids. My kids are all in though. But yeah, I don't know. It's gonna be interesting to see if people really get in the holiday spirit. Are people gonna have decorations up? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Are you gonna really be all? I wish you a Merry Christmas after the year we done seen. And the election is on November 3rd too. Oh my God! What if who you want to win doesn't win? What?
Don't say that. Don't say that.
What if
Don't
Trump
put
does
that
get another
energy.
4 more years? I'm just saying. I'm
You
just
trying
throwing
to
it
depress
out
me?
there.
I'm trying to have a good Friday. You trying to throw curveballs?
I'm just
Who are
letting
y'all
y'all know.
voting for?
Kamala Harris.
Pedro.
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 Okay.
Definitely
Napoleon
Pedro.
Dynamite.
I ain't mad at you. All right, well, let's get the show cracking. Front page news, what we talking about?
Well, since we're talking about upcoming elections, let's discuss Joe Biden and his town hall yesterday.
All right.
Never heard of him.
And our resident doctor, Dr. Oz, will be joining us this morning. So we're going to kick it with Dr. Oz in a little bit. All right, front page news is next. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning. DJ Envy, Angela Yee, Charlamagne the God. We are The Breakfast Club. Let's get in some front page news. Now let's get in some sports first. Now, last night, Miami Heat beat the Celtics 106-101. They lead the series 2-0. Great game. And in Thursday night football, the Browns beat the Bengals 35-30. What else we got, Yeezy?
All right, Joe Biden, his CNN town hall was last night. It was a drive-in. So people got to stand outside with their cars parked around them and approach a microphone near the stage if they wanted to ask a question. And this was in Scranton, Pennsylvania. So some of the things that Joe Biden addressed was police reform,
What we have to do is we have to have a much more transparent means by which we provide for accountability within police departments. I will nationally bring together police chiefs, police officers, the union people, the African-American leadership, the communities, the brown communities, the civil rights leaderships, to sit at the table and agree on basic fundamental things that have to be done, including much more rigorous background checks on those who apply for and become police officers. 2, teaching people how to de-escalate. 3, providing for a 911 calls like what happened in Lancaster, making sure that you have psychologists and psychiatrists available to go out to deal with those circumstances.
All of that is okay, but the one basic fundamental thing that needed to happen is they need to stop killing us. And I think the whole system needs an overhaul. Like, I can't teach you how not to be racist. You're trying to teach a pit bull how not to attack after that pit bull's been chewing on people's ass for years. If there was more cops who stood up and spoke out against bad cops, I would have faith in everything that Joe Biden's saying, but it's not. And the ones who do get fired. So, no, I don't want them to try to reform the system that they have. I want them to overhaul it and bring in a whole new system. That's what I would like to see.
Now, Joe Biden also spoke on white privilege.
Do you see ways that you've benefited from white privilege?
Sure, I've benefited just because I don't have to go through what my black brothers and sisters have had to go through, number one. But number two, grow up here in Scranton. We're used to guys who look down their nose at us. We're looked at people who look at us and think that we're suckers. Look at us and they think that we're not equivalent to them.
Suckers. All right. Another thing Joe Biden talked about was, who does he believe when it comes to a vaccine?
I don't trust the president on vaccines. I trust Dr. Fauci. If Fauci says the vaccine is safe, I take the vaccine. That we should listen to the scientists, not to the president.
Agreed.
Obvious.
I'm still not listening to Fauci neither. I'm listening to the people that go get it first.
Well, somebody has to get it, right?
Yeah, somebody got to get it. And after they don't grow wings, then we'll figure it out. But I mean, like we were saying yesterday, the healthcare workers will get it first, and people who are at very, very high risk will get it first. So it'll be enough people getting it to you'll see whether it works or not.
Well, Dr. Oz will be here. We could ask Dr. Oz about it a little later, too.
What does Dr. Oz know?
More than us.
That's
All right. Well, I'm Angela Yee, and that is your front page news.
All right. Thank you, Miss Yee. Now, get it off your chest. 800-585-1051. If you need to vent, you can hit us up at any time. Call us up right now. Phone lines are wide open. Get it off your chest. Hello, who's this?
Hey, this is Mark from Toronto.
Hey, Mark, get it off your chest, bro.
I'm just wondering, I'm kind of new to the show, and I always hear Charlamagne in the morning start out with that intro, and it kind of drives me wild, but I kind of want to know what's the story behind that. Yo, 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 yo.
I don't think it's no story. It's just kind of like a wake-up call. You know what I mean? It's early in the morning, 6 a.m. hits. It's just like, yo, 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 yo. It's just like, get up. That's all.
At first, I thought my radio was skipping. I didn't know what the hell that was.
True.
Let me hear you do it.
Cheers. Thanks for taking the call, guys. Have a good
No,
day.
I want you to do the yo-yo.
You gotta do the yo, 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 yo.
Represent
Yo,
for
yo,
Toronto.
yo, yo, yo. Toronto!
There you go. One time for the 6.
Thanks for taking the call, guys. Let's hear it. Put me on.
Are you on? Thank you, brother.
You good. He said,
Hello,
let's hear it,
who's
put me
this?
on.
This is Megan.
Hey, Megan, get it off your chest, mama.
You know what? I was calling to talk about my boyfriend and problems, but I just want to get off my chest. Happy birthday to my mama, Rhonda Tyler from Polk County, Rockmart. She just turned 49 today, and I just want to wish her a happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Rhonda. It's a blessing to be here. You better get your mama something good for pushing you out 49 years, however long it was.
I
You
got
did
a
what?
red velvet cake. I got a red velvet cake with roses and money on it because that's all she wants is money.
There you go.
There you go. But it ain't real money.
Yeah, it is real money. I just got paid today.
There you go.
Hey, all right. Happy birthday,
Payday.
Rhonda.
I
She
love
got a man?
it. You wake up with a little bounce in your step.
She got a man?
All right. Yeah,
Your mama
she
got a
has
man?
Yes.
Okay, that's just making sure she getting her little birthday sex. That's all.
Oh, that's TMI. Thank y'all.
Get it off your chest. 800-585-1051. Hit us up right now. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning. this?
Hey, how you guys is doing? This is Cindy calling from
What up?
Jersey, man.
Sound like porta potty guy.
Angela Yee. Oh, Envy. You're right, brother. How you doing today, man?
What's up, brother? I haven't heard from you in a while. How's everything?
Everything has been blessed. I'm trying to maintain. I just want to say congratulations. I see you doing so many business out here. It's very motivational.
Thank you, sir.
I see Angela Yee keep on doing her thing with her coffee. You know what I mean? Angela Yee, you winning out here, boo.
Coffee unites people.
That's definitely. Also,
Uplifts people. Sorry, we changed the name. Coffee uplifts people.
That's true, but you got to try that Blue Mountain tea coffee from Jamaica. That's some really good coffee, Angela. And also, I see Charlamagne doing his things with his Black Effect. Charlamagne, can I get a job, my brother? Trying to get out of sanitation.
Can you get a job? If you deserve one.
My brother.
He wants a job with you.
What you trying to do?
Well, you know what I mean? I'm trying to start my own podcast, man. I'm trying to do something to be financially free, man. I see Envy trying to do his things with his water, and I've been telling you guys that I'm trying to come out with my own drink, my own limeade drink, man, my own lemonade beverage. I have the best lemonade out there, man. You know what I mean?
I love limeade. Actually, I like limeade better than lemonade.
Exactly, Angela. So I just actually started my own LLC, Stone Tropical Limeade, and I'm just trying to do some positive things out here, man. It's very hard right now. Go ahead, Charlamagne.
Well, let's not act like you being a sanitation worker is not a positive thing, because it is. Okay, you got a job, and it's a good job, and you get paid, and you get benefits, and you put food on your table. So let's not act like that's not a positive job.
That's so true. But the problem is when you are living paycheck to paycheck, it's not easy, brother. You know what I mean? So I'm trying to be just like how you guys have multiple revenue of income and stream that's coming in. Everybody needs help out here. And Sean Stone needs some help out here. But I'm just trying to stay positive and trying to do things the right way. You know what I mean? So Charlamagne, can I get a job, my brother?
I'm gonna be honest with you. That wasn't a great podcast pitch. I don't know if you're trying to do a limeade podcast pitch. I don't know which one it was, but
I
put something together.
I'm gonna put something together, sir. And then
the beauty.
I think you and Trav should do a podcast together.
I would do a podcast with Trav. Angela, the problem is I don't have a problem with Trav at all.
Oh my God!
Start, you were so positive.
Why you know that's his trigger. You know that's his trigger. I got therapy today, Sean. You want to go to therapy with me, man?
You should take him with you, bro.
Jesus Christ!
Don't invite me to go to therapy and then you shut me down. I'll go to therapy with you one day, bro. You know what I mean?
Yes, man. We got to deal with this trauma.
Bro, I don't have a problem with Trav. You're the one that keep on saying I have a problem with him. I don't care.
How do you spell trauma, Sean Stone? T-R-A-V. Sean's trauma has a first name. It's T-R-A-V.
Are you making fun of his trauma?
Yo, that's what I'm saying. You see how this guy is? He sits on the radio and he talks about mental health and helping people, but when it comes to Sean Stone, he plays with my emotions.
Okay, so just admit to me right now, and I'll stop. Just admit to me, Trav is a trigger. Just admit.
I don't have a problem with him. No problem at all. He doesn't trigger my life at all. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like,
yes, sir.
That's it all.
You are hashtag unbothered.
Very much. Like, I'm trying to put food on my table, trying to feed my family and stay corona free. You know what I mean? Like, I don't.
What would you call your podcast with Trav?
What would I call my? Ask Charlamagne that question. Charlamagne, what would you call the podcast with Trav?
It's your podcast.
Oh,
triggered.
Triggered.
I like that. Trigger. So, Trav, you heard it. Charlamagne want to give me and you a job, and it's going to be called Trigger. Let's get this podcast popping, and let's go out there and make some money and feed our family, man.
Who will be on top? Like the name?
Oh, my goodness.
Good question, Trav. That's a good question, Sean Stone.
Who will be on top?
Y'all be side by side.
Side by side.
Charlamagne, you know what's so funny? You always say that crazy people come from Florida, right? There's a story on World Star where there's a guy that went to the doctor to get his colon cleansed, and I guess he actually came on himself. So
that happened in Jacksonville.
Yeah, he went back to the doctor and killed the doctor. Come on, people, slow down, be easy out there. You know what I mean?
I heard about that.
Definitely,
I don't know if that's true though, but I heard about that.
Yeah, but definitely Sean Stone will be on top. And I'm not.
Man, we talking to you a little too much, Tom Stone. We got to go, bro. I didn't mean to hang up on him. I want to say goodbye.
Drum, why do you do that,
I
Drum?
want to at least say goodbye to the brother.
You said
Drum
we talking
hates
for too
people.
long.
I was saying goodbye. I was rapping.
Oh, okay.
Sheesh.
That was my fault then. I'll take the blame on that one.
Get it off your chest. 800-585-1051. Now we got rumors on the way, Yee?
Yes, and we'll talk about Nene Leakes. She just made a big announcement.
All right, we'll get into that next. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning.
Yes, so Nene Leakes is not returning to the Real Housewives of Atlanta. She's not going to be a part of season 13. And she said it was a very difficult decision. Listen to Nene Leakes here.
I have made the very hard and difficult decision to not be a part of Real Housewives of Atlanta season 13. It wasn't an easy decision for me. I started on the Real Housewives of Atlanta in 2008. I can say that I was a part of a genre that opened up doors for Black ensemble reality shows to step up and be a part of what we all now love so much, reality TV.
I wonder what those negotiations looked like. I wonder if they were actively negotiating with Nene Leakes, and she said no. I wonder what happened.
Well, she had posted, protecting my peace is the utmost importance to me. Fighting for Black women's rights is a passion of mine. Head on over to my YouTube and listen closely. I love you. And then Andy said Nene Leakes is an icon of the genre. She is a gif and a catchphrase machine. In 11 years of Watch What Happens Live, Nene has been our most frequent guest, and she is always a blast. Nene nicknamed me Buttercup the first day we met and still calls me that today. Through her whole run, she has always had a serious concern and drive to maintain the success and well-being of Real Housewives of Atlanta. I'm going to miss Nene on the show, but I'm hoping we work together again soon and will remain in each other's orbits forever.
I respect it. I respect the fact that, Nene says she wants to protect her peace, and no amount of money is worth your peace. So drop
That's
on the
right.
clues bombs for Nene Leakes.
And knowing Nene, she got something up her sleeve. So she's heading to do something bigger and probably better. So shout to Nene.
She drives a hard bargain too. Salute to Nene.
All right, Ty Dolla $ign and Alicia Keys, they're some of the guests who will be giving insight into the making of one of their songs. It's a new Netflix show. It's called Song Exploder. So there'll be in-depth interviews, behind-the-scenes footage, and demos of the record and more. So he's going to be breaking down L.A., Ty Dolla $ign, which featured Kendrick Lamar, Brandy, and producer James Fauntleroy. And yeah, so you can watch that. That's going to premiere October 2nd.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm always here for stuff like that. I like to see the intricate details of how your favorite records were made. I'm not mad at that.
All right. And for all the fans of Benny the Butcher, just be careful when you get his merch, the Black Soprano Family apparel. He issued a warning to his fans. He said, if you buy a shirt from me, you're gang related, according to Buffalo Police and Parole. Be careful. Somebody had sent him a message and said, hi, sweetie, it's Mrs. Patty, just tried to call you. Streets said, call you. He got arrested for parole violation. His officer claimed the BSF shirts, hats, and T-shirts, book bags are gang related and charging him for parole violation. That's
Wow.
crazy.
I want some.
T-shirt.
I want some of that gang-related merchandise. Benny the Butcher was supposed to send me some. I don't think I ever got it, but I'll go on the website and purchase it myself. Salute to my man Benny the Butcher. Salute to Conway the Machine too. That album From King to a God. Oh my man. Drop one of Clues bombs for Conway the Machine.
They be spitting.
King to a God is phenomenal. That record he got with Method Man. Oh my God.
Okay, yesterday there was a virtual press conference that included Ras Baraka, J.R. Smith, Michelle Roberts, who is the executive director for the Players Association for the NBA, New Jersey Devils president Jake Reynolds, New Jersey Secretary of State Tahisha Way, and Essex County Board of Elections clerk Linda Von Nessy. They announced that the Prudential Center will serve as a super polling site for the upcoming 2020 presidential election. So I think that's important as
That's
people
right.
are
It is.
find places to go.
I think it's very important because you're going to need as many uncompromised polling sites as you possibly can get, because I would not be surprised if, the president does something like encourage his followers or supporters to go to the polls and stand there with your weapons and intimidate people. Y'all think I'm joking when I say you probably should wear a MAGA hat to the polls just to confuse people. Then when you got people like Roger Stone saying that the Trump should, declare martial law and seize ballots in Nevada and do whatever it takes to stay in power, it's going to be ugly in November.
Definitely going to be ugly.
All right. Well, Foot Locker stores nationally are also going to be a voter registration hub starting next week. So they're working with Rock the Vote, and they're trying to make sure that younger people cast ballots in this election also. I think it's good to see everybody trying to make sure they take part.
That's where you get a lot of younger
people. Many people going
buy some J's.
But I don't know how many people go in Foot Locker anymore.
People go in Foot Locker all the time. Yeah, when they have
they
absolutely do. Yeah, absolutely.
Because Foot Locker don't be having the exclusives, do they?
Yeah. They get the J's. They don't get the Yeezys as much, but they definitely get the Jordans. And, Jordan makes a limited amount. So, yeah, they'll still be lying around the corner for Locker. Where else would people go?
Online?
No. They go in person.
That's even harder. People be camped out and making sure that they are on that line to make sure they get their sneakers. All right, now Alyssa Milano says that her COVID-19 symptoms have still been lingering 6 months after she was sick. So she said there's still lingering effects. I still have shortness of breath. I still have heart palpitations. I have a high-pitched noise in my ear. My hair is falling out. And there's a lot of people who have been having those issues. I actually know some people who still don't have their sense of taste. I know someone who got it back in March and still hasn't recovered their sense of taste yet and still has shortness of breath.
Damn.
So we don't know what these lasting repercussions are going to be from coronavirus, but she said it is a really rough illness. We can't think that this is over and done with because it surely is not. All right, I'm Angela Yee, and that is your Rumor Report.
All right, thank you, Miss Yee. Now, when we come back, we got front page news. What we talking about?
Let's talk about patriotic education. This is what Donald Trump wants.
All right, we'll get into that next. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning.
I just know the Browns won and the Miami Heat won. I don't know what the scores were. It don't matter. The Browns won and the Miami Heat won.
Donald Trump has announced what he wants to be a patriotic education. And this is a political thing because, he's really upset about this 1619 education program that they're trying to do, the 1619 Project, which details the country's history from when the first enslaved Africans were brought to America's shores. He does not like that at all. And he wants to have some type of jurisdiction over school curriculum. To be clear, the federal government does not have any jurisdiction over school curriculum. Here's what he had to say about a patriotic education.
Today, I'm also pleased to announce that I will soon sign an executive order establishing a national commission to promote patriotic education. It will be called the 1776 Commission. We must clear away the twisted web of lies in our schools and classrooms and teach our children the magnificent truth about our country. We want our sons and daughters to know that they are the citizens of the most exceptional nation in the history of the world.
Patriotic education.
It's what really happened.
But a patriotic education is what already exists now. Everything we're taught in schools is rooted in whiteness under the guise of patriotism. Everything we are taught in schools is through the lens of the colonizer. That's why Christopher Columbus is looked at as a hero and not a terrorist of indigenous people. That's why schools are named after white supremacists. But what he's saying he wants to do is exactly what the 1619 Project is doing. America's history is only beautiful depending on what side you're on. Of course, if you're a white supremacist, you love the history of America because the system benefited you.
Right.
What is he talking about?
But these aren't even lies about the country. It's what really happened. It's the real history of the United States. He also feels like teaching about systemic racism in America is a form of child abuse. Here's what he had to say about the 1619 Project.
The left has warped, distorted, and defiled the American story. There is no better example than the New York Times 1619 Project. This project rewrites American history to teach our children that we were founded on the principle of oppression, not freedom. Nothing could be further from the truth. America's founding set in motion the unstoppable chain of events that abolished slavery, secured civil rights, defeated communism and fascism, and built the most fair, equal, and prosperous nation in human history.
This just sounds all the way crazy. Like, I don't understand how somebody just can't get it. Just doesn't understand.
And I don't understand. Like, just accept the fact that systemic racism has happened, okay? Instead of trying to revise history, how about atone for that history? It happened. Now, how do you write better stories moving forward?
Correct.
That's what every politician.
You can't act like it didn't happen and it's a lie. I mean,
that's
it's
basically
ridiculous.
Yes.
And that's why y'all have to vote, guys. When it comes to driving chains, there's no action as powerful as casting a vote. Please make sure you are registered to vote. Please make sure you know all the information you need to know about voting, key dates, election reminders. You can get all that information from Rock the Vote. Just text Levi's, Levis, to 788-683. And you can make sure that you are registered and ready to vote this fall.
Absolutely. All right. Well, that is your front page news. Now, when we come back, your resident doctor, Dr. Oz, will be joining us.
Never heard of him. Who is this guy? Who is this quack y'all got coming on?
Yeah, well, he'll be joining us next, so we'll kick it with Dr. Oz. So don't move. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning.
Angela Yee, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. We got a special guest on the line as season 12 begins.
Season 12?
Whoa. Hi, guys.
Doc, I think it's safe to say you have a successful talk show. Season 12, renewed for 2 more seasons. Congratulations. Star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame coming in 2021. Congratulations, sir.
Well, thank you, Charlamagne. It's been a blessing. As you know, it takes a lot of people pulling the oars. It's been it started, I remember I was doing towards the end of the Oprah shows that I used to do, and she was going to launch a show with me. And so she was talking about getting in my lane and making sure that I stayed focused on the audience. And what I realized is you actually have to stay laser focused on the audience, which is what you guys do so well. But you got to shift lanes once in a while as well, because medicine changes so darn quickly. But it's been a blast.
Doc, I want to ask you, Charlamagne, you know how Charlamagne flirts with us all the time.
Yeah.
This morning, Charlamagne sent me a text about how when he went to the doctor, he got his prostate exam and he had an orgasm. Is that normal?
That never happened. Doc. There was a guy in Jacksonville that happened to.
Well, it's an interesting problem because it's not really a problem. It's very common. But prostate has sensory fibers on it. So it does create orgasms. And some men enjoy that a lot. And it is something that is commonly reported. In fact, it sort of replaced the clitoris in females. That's where those nerves went. That whole part of the body is so erogenous and there's so much going on and we're so ashamed about it, which I don't know why, because if you actually understand how to excite each other, it makes everything a lot more fun in life.
Right.
But I think, as Angie, you speak to this a little bit, but we always, in the heat of passion, don't take time to figure it out. So take a moment when you're not right in the middle of it and just explore a little bit. Read up on anatomy. It'll help you a lot.
No, you're right. There's a doctor in Atlanta. They call him Dr. Future, and he always says, put your thumb in our...
And in his, apparently.
Future's a rapper, Doc. He's definitely not a doctor. Well, Future's a rapper, but I don't know about that, Charlamagne.
But when guys masturbate, do you guys put your fingers in your...
No, not usually.
He said not usually.
No, all jokes aside.
Here we go. I like this. Here we go.
This is a serious question, and it's kind of around this topic. Colon cancer, right? I've been seeing a lot of people pass with colon cancer, and they've been getting younger and younger. And we've always been told historically, get a colon check at 50. But now I'm hearing I should get it at 40. What do you think, Doc?
Well, African Americans have to get it earlier, at least by 45. And if you have a family history, someone in your family with colon cancer or polyps, 10 years before that. So I got on my show today, Mary Letourneau's husband, Billy Pulowal. And Mary Letourneau just died of colon cancer, but she was the school teacher. She was in her early 30s. She fell in love with her student, Billy. He was in 6th grade. And she ended up going to jail for that. And he's on the show just talking honestly about whether he thinks she was a pedophile or not, even though he married her and had 2 kids with her. And he just really thought about this a lot. It's a wonderful, very open discussion, but it only happened because his wife, Mary, died of colon cancer. And who would think a 50-year-old woman would die of colon cancer, but it happens.
Well, that's interesting. I can't wait to see what he has to say about that because that was a huge story and it's been ongoing. So now, Dr. Oz, I want to ask you, are you going to get this vaccine for coronavirus when they come out with it, or do you feel like I'm going to wait?
No, I'm getting the vaccine without any question. And let's talk about vaccine.
Wait.
I'm not going to wait. I'll tell you what the issue. I just had the Surgeon General, Jerome Adams, on the show. I've been having the White House task force coming on just because we've become the de facto COVID-19 headquarters. So I'm just trying to get all the information out there so we can make educated decisions. And what the guy said was pretty clearly that we're going to be able to, the vaccine trial, the first of the 30,000 patient trials is finishing this week. And so they got to wait a couple of weeks to figure out if there are side effects, if it's dangerous, and if it works. But theoretically, by November, we're going to know if these vaccines work. And if that's the case, just now, before I got on air with you, the U.S. government released a plan to give vaccines to every American for free. The U.S. military is going to help distribute it to the local areas. So if you want it, you can get it. But to your point, about a third of the population is not interested in getting the vaccine, and it's especially high among African Americans. So Jerome Adams is saying we don't have African Americans involved in the vaccine trial. Without that, we can't tell for sure if it's safe. So we got to get more African Americans in the trials, and then we got to get African Americans comfortable with the tests. So I said, what's the big deal here? Why is there so much resistance? And he went back, and as you know, the history of experimentation on blacks in America has understandably made people pretty paranoid about this. But then we got into this broader idea of health disparities. Now, I don't know if you know this, but one of Martin Luther King's big peeves was the greatest and worst form of racism was health disparities, because black people can't get in the game if you're sitting on the sideline and in a wheelchair, right? You can't get on the playing field. And so I started looking at the numbers. And I don't know if you know this, but I mean, black women having babies twice as likely to die than white women. Black babies twice as likely to die as white babies. But this is what I didn't know. When a black child is being taken care of by a black doctor, it halves the chance of them dying compared to if they're getting taken care of by a white doctor. Now, that stunned me. And then one of my producers said something that just blew my mind, and I would love to hear what you guys think about this. Mm-hmm. She said it, and some of my guests said it as well. She said, the way that black men see police is how black women see doctors. And I got goosebumps because I had no idea there was that much of a gap that was occurring in the healthcare field between black patients and white doctors.
Yeah, one of our good homegirls who comes on the show a lot, Lathan Thomas, they call her the Glow Maven, and she's a doula. And that's what she focuses on. She focuses on the black maternal death rate. She actually helped my wife with our third child, because I saw it firsthand. We're in the hospital in Jersey. I got money. I got insurance. The nurse was like, we don't have any more epidurals. Like, just straight up, we don't have any more. I'm like, what do you mean you don't have any more? So my wife had to have a natural childbirth just because they just didn't have any epidurals. They're like, oh, the baby's right there. You can just push it out. They just think that black women are just stronger than white women.
Yeah, and I have a friend who comes on the show also, Coach Jessie, and she's a holistic doctor, and she went to the hospital. She actually had an aneurysm, and she went in there and she said her pain level was a level 10, and they tried to send her home from the hospital, but she knew enough about her body and about health to know this is not normal. And they kept on trying to send her home. And fortunately for her, she stayed there because she did end up having an aneurysm.
Wow. Well, you just point out pain is it something we've looked at in medicine, and without question, doctors think African Americans have a higher pain threshold than white people, and it reveals an implicit bias. And again, I'm pointing this out because doctors aren't in danger personally taking care of patients. It's not like we're fearing for our lives and making mistakes. There's just an implicit bias, and you don't even realize it exists. My doctor friends are stunned with this data, stunned when this last little bit came out about the race of the person taking care of you affecting your life, which brings me to the big campaign that we're involved in. It's hashtag more black doctors. We got to have more black doctors. 5% of doctors are black. It's only, but black's 13% of the population. It makes no sense. And it's very hard to cross that cultural divide if you don't understand that you're a patient. And so Health Corps, which you guys know, we've been teaching teens, especially teens of color, about health. Now I want to teach them to go into health. And Mike Bloomberg just gave $100 million to 4 black universities to increase medical school enrollment. So we got to get up. We have to convince young black people to think about careers in healthcare so that we can get better quality healthcare for black people.
Now I want to go back to the vaccine. Now you mentioned the vaccine before. Now, do you think it's long enough to see what the side effects are? Charlamagne and I were talking to a doctor last week.
Dr. Stu.
And he was saying he would never take it right away. He said he would wait probably to February, March to take it. He said the first batch, he just wouldn't trust taking it. So I think with us, is sometimes we get so many different opinions, we don't know who to believe. So you would be comfortable with not necessarily knowing all the side effects, not knowing how it affects people and all that?
Well, we have 30,000 people in each of these trials, and there are several trials. So in aggregate, it's more than 100,000 people who are getting these vaccines with careful follow-up for side effects. I don't think it's an experiment. And by the way, you're not going to get to go first anyway. The first people who get the vaccines are going to be healthcare providers and vulnerable populations, people in nursing homes, folks who have multiple medical problems. So it's going to be rolled out so that the few vaccines that we have are given to people who benefit the most from it. So you're not going to get a chance to get it until probably March anyway. That stated, when it comes, I don't want a lot of confusion with people second guessing whether it's safe or not. And all 9 of the main companies, that the pharmaceutical companies, got together and wrote a letter saying we are not even going to submit for approval. We're not going to let the government get our vaccine until we're comfortable that it's safe. And they're not going to ruin their businesses racing to get a vaccine out. Listen, I understand completely why people are nervous. They're nervous because it's Operation Warp Speed, right? They're nervous because it must have been rushed because that's how we got it out in a few months, where normally it takes years. It's rushed because they don't trust the White House. There's a lot of
election year.
Election year.
Yeah, they're politicizing it. I think it's a trope.
Yeah, but Charlemagne, you know, when you mix politics and medicine, you know what you get? Politics. Mm-hmm. Medicine gets suffocated. And I can't let that happen because this is a medical issue. And I especially don't want to hurt people who end up getting COVID-19 as an infection in December and January and February who wouldn't have if we just allowed this to move forward. Now, again, the vaccine's not going to be administered until after the election anyway. So either way, I don't think the fact that you're getting it is going to be political, but getting ready to give it should not be politicized.
Yeah, but when Trump can say, hey, we created a vaccine and in a rapid amount of time, we're going to have the vaccine ready, it's something that could cause people to go vote for him.
Yeah, but Trump's not making the vaccine. Pharmaceutical companies all over the world are. Charlemagne, this past weekend, the Chinese announced that they have already given hundreds of thousands of their doctors and nurses their vaccine. So there are vaccines already out there. Other parts of the world are going to start using this. This is a bigger than America issue. These companies are not working in isolation only in America, right? They're working, I mean, the AstraZeneca vaccine is a British vaccine. There's 2 big Chinese vaccines. We've got our own vaccines in America, which we need to have because American companies will make vaccines that Americans can get first. The Chinese are not going to give us their vaccine until they immunize their own people.
And Trump supporters not going to take no Chinese vaccine after all of the dirt he's threw on China.
I don't know. I mean, if a vaccine is proven to be safe and the company making it is reputable, I would take the vaccine. And I think that's the bigger message for all of us. Look, there's some things that politics are always going to be involved in, but medicine cannot be destroyed by politics. That's where you start paying the price in lives. We've already lived through that. I don't want to make it any worse. The vaccine is a process that, yes, has been politicized, but whether it works or not is not a political decision. The numbers are going to be right there, black and white. Last week, they shut down one of the trials for a couple of days because they're worried about one single case. One person had a bad outcome, and they shut it down to double check that it wasn't.
What's that outcome? What? Because I know they said,
she had an infection of her spinal column, which is a bad complication. But thankfully, she apparently is doing okay. She's a British woman, but they were worried about it because you don't want a lot of people having spinal column infections from a vaccine.
Now, how do we treat the flu now? Now, do we treat the flu differently now? Because now the symptoms of the flu is the same as the symptoms for COVID. Do we treat that any differently now? And do you advise people to take the flu shot?
The flu shot's already out. I would definitely take it for 2 reasons. One, although half the population takes the flu shot normally this year, let's make it more because you don't want to get confused about whether your symptoms are the flu or COVID-19. And that would be horrible because then you go to the hospital with flu symptoms and you get COVID-19 because you can get them both together at the same time. There's different viruses. And that will be really a problem for a lot of people. So go out and get the vaccine. Now, the good news is we're probably not going to have much of a flu season because what we've seen in Asia already is because everyone's wearing masks and socially distancing, they're not giving each other the flu either. So hopefully it won't be a bad season, but why take a chance? Get the darn vaccine. It's already out there. That's not an experiment. That's been around for a long time. And that's something that most Americans ought to be able to do just to protect the rest of us. And the other thing about vaccine, real quick, everyone doesn't have to get a vaccine. I don't want people to feel they're stupid or bad or dumb or conspiracy theorists for not getting the vaccine. But we need to get enough people vaccinated so we get herd immunity. So we need about 70% of the population to get vaccinated. I think we could do that without too much difficulty.
Now, is the nasal spray accurate? There's one last question of the flu. Is the nasal spray accurate or should you take a shot?
No, the nasal spray works if you're in the right age group. So nasal spray is an active virus, so if you're already immunocompromised, you can't get it because you don't want the virus to spread in your body. But it does work well in young people. The shot seems to be the more reliable way to go in general.
Okay. Doc, I want to see you get the vaccine live on your show. And after you do it, I'll wait a couple months and see what happens. If I see some wings growing out your back, I'm going to say the vaccine has some side effects.
All right, I'll make a deal with you. Seriously. I'll get the vaccine live on my show. I'm actually going to have Jerome Adams give me the flu vaccine live on the show later this month. Yeah, so I'll get COVID-19 vaccine as soon as I'm allowed to get it. Then you're going to come on my show and you're going to get it a month after I get it. If I'm still alive a month later, you'll get it.
No. I think that's a good deal. You got to tell
Charlamagne, I'll throw a rectal exam in.
He might come down. Because Charlamagne got his anal swab for his COVID-19 test. And I was telling him that's not right.
Shut up. That never happened. Doc, what do you think about the kids going back to school? Because you got in a little shit early this year. But what do you think now? Do you think we made the right decision? Because my kids are in school. I put mine in school.
Yeah, I put my grandkids in school. Listen, I quoted a Lancet article that argued that we did not make society that much safer than as much as we thought anyway by taking kids out of school. And people got mad at me for talking about it. And I respect that it's a sensitive topic, but I don't want us to ignore the harm we do to our kids by not allowing them to be in school. And I also appreciate there are risks. There absolutely are risks, but how big are those risks? Well, they're definitely significant for teachers and for parents and grandparents. But I gotta say, for most kids, if we can follow CDC guidelines and make sure that not everyone gets sick all at once, that the homerooms are broken up and the kids go to school at different times, leave school at different times, that we're better off having our kids in school. It disproportionately hurts poor kids and kids of color when they're out of school. It hurts the parents and the kids don't have backup plans. And the worst thing we can do, I think, is half-time in school, half-time out of school. Because you know what happens? The days the kids in school, they might get infected, but then the days they're not in school, they go to daycare, they might get infected there. Right? They don't just stay at home. They play with their friends. They go with other groups of people they weren't normally exposed to. So you actually increase the chance that the virus will go through the community. So I think you either go to school or you don't go to school. And if you're going to go to school, which again, my grandkids are doing, then you break up the classes in ways that you keep them as safe as possible. So they're less likely to be hunkered down on top of each other. But they get free meals. They get checked for abuse that might be going on at home. They get mentoring. And most importantly, they're not scarred for the rest of their life thinking they'd have to run away from a problem.
You know, I want to ask you, right, because I heard what you said. And what you said, you quoted the Lancet and you said some folks. You never said you. Yeah. Do you think it was the platform you was on because you was on Sean Hannity? Or do you think it was social media? Which caused the context to be lost in that, you think?
No, I think it was social media. I think the platform doesn't help, but I didn't get I didn't get a lot of feedback for 2 days. I didn't even know it was an issue. Mm-hmm. And then 2 days later, someone saw it and got upset about it. And I understand why people are not agreeing with me. I just think we need to be able to talk to each other, and we can be angry about stuff, but we got to go talk to each other. And that's one of the challenges with the council culture, because you take people who are doing their best to make whatever they're trying to do, and you start saying, well, you don't get to say that. And the best way to get rid of a bad idea is talk about it. Because then the fact that it's bad becomes evident. Everyone starts to say, yeah, it was a bad idea. And that's what made you, what has made your show iconic is you talk about everything. Yeah, bad idea. No, the bad idea comes on the show. You beat up the bad idea and people say that was a dumb idea. I'm not going to say that. I don't want to sound dumb by saying that idea in public. Whereas if it's said in secrecy in the corners, people start repeating it. They think it's real because no one's able to challenge it because no one's saying it publicly.
And bad ideas from the host as well.
Yeah, absolutely. All of us. Look, if you have a lot of ideas, guarantee some of them are bad.
Absolutely.
Now, Dr. Oz, what are some more things you'll be touching on season 12?
Well, I'm very passionate about some of the things you guys have been talking through. So Jacob Blake's family's coming on, and I am going to go over what happened to him, where the gunshots are. I actually, he was shot through this first and fourth lumbar spine, which is why he'll most likely be paralyzed. Although the family is saying, despite the odds, they're praying for success. But what mostly impressed me about Jacob Blake was, and his father's the same name as the son, is that he said he wants peace. He does not want his son, and his son said the same thing, causing violence. Quite the opposite. They want to make sure that this never happens to anybody else again, and we have no more violence. And Daniel Prude, whose family's coming on, remember, he was the gentleman whose brother called for 911 because he was having a mental breakdown, and the cops came and they put a spit hood on him and killed him. And while I was training him. And this is an example where mental health issues are being dealt with by criminal justice systems. And, Charlamagne, we've talked about this on my show with you a bunch of times. We cannot criminalize mental health issues. We cannot criminalize drug issues. It doesn't work. And so we got to get smarter in how we deploy our resources and get the right people taking care of the right people at the right time. The brother was so emotional, he blames himself for calling the 911 on Daniel Prude because he had no idea cops would come and do that to him. And I felt for him.
Damn.
And, I'm sure right now a lot of people are having all kinds of mental health issues just with coronavirus. I have a friend who had a really bad breakdown, and they did call the cops on her just because being in the house and then going through whatever personal issues you might have in a relationship and having minimal contact with people outside of your house can be really trying for a lot of people. Even if certain things have never shown up before, it's like a perfect storm.
It is the biggest problem we have created with this virus. Our brains got to the size they are to be able to deal with each other. Literally, the prefrontal cortex, we need a brain the size of a walnut to go hunting. You need your brain this big to be able to look at each other in the eyes and read each other's facial expressions, to hear subtle tones and what you're really trying to say as you speak. And so when we isolate each other, we get depression, we get anxiety, which is skyrocketing high. We don't feel like we're raindrops falling into the ocean of humanity. In addition, you're appropriately fearful of a virus that could hurt you. And the people who pay the biggest price are the older folks, actually, because they need the chi, the life force from youth. There's a big argument now that Alzheimer's is made a lot worse by COVID. My mom, I haven't talked about this, but I'm going to, I'll share it with you guys. My mom lives in Turkey, was diagnosed 2 weeks ago with COVID, and she has Alzheimer's. And she got, really sick for a day or two. They put her on the Turkish protocol, which is, a combination of drugs that they give to everybody in Turkey. And within a day, she was better. She never had a problem. And she doesn't seem to have had a neurologic issue. But COVID-19 causes brain fog. And it's a persistent brain fog in some folks. If you layer that on top of the social isolation, that's a 1-2 punch many people cannot deal with. I had a doctor at my hospital, a very popular doctor, commit suicide. She was an ER doc, perfectly normal before COVID. She got COVID. And her father's a doctor too. He came on my show to talk about it. She never recovered. And then she took her life.
I'm sorry to hear that about your mom. You talk about even when it comes to cultural competence in the mental health space, we need more mental health care workers that are Black because the numbers are lower than I think in, the other doctors. I think it's like 3%.
Yeah. And African Americans, Quincy Jones taught me this when I was still a resident. But, his mom had schizophrenia. And they just sort of sent her away, never told anyone why, just never saw her again. And he said that's how they used to deal with it back in the 40s and 50s. They just sent people away. They disappeared. And that's not how we manage mental health. And we got to change. That's a huge cultural barrier.
As people apply for this scholarship program that you have for more diversity in the field of medicine?
So there's two things we're doing. There's hashtag more Black docs. If you or you go to my website, you'll see all the information. I'm going to give some scholarships out to kids who are to young men and women who are being doctors, just to help them with all their expenses. And then I'm also having mentoring programs. I'm having a lot of doctors of color have seminars with students, high school students and college students, just to teach them about what's available. Listen, you don't have to go off and be a heart surgeon and spend your whole life training. There are jobs that exist in healthcare that are fantastic. They pay well, very rewarding. And again, you'll save lives, and we need to get people of color interested in those jobs.
All right. Well, Doc, we appreciate you for joining us. And thank you for always being our resident doctor.
Congratulations on another season, another 2 seasons again on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. That is amazing. Thank you, Dr. Oz.
I think you should put it up, and instead of putting your handprint, you should put your ass cheeks in the concrete. That'd be dope.
I'm going to invite you out. I'm going to do just that if you'll do it with me, Charlamagne.
Do what with you?
He wants the anal swab. That's what he wants to do.
The anal swab on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. I'm going to put the actual anal imprint right there.
There you go. That'll be dope. You can tell whose butt it is by the bigger hole.
Oh, before I forget, I almost forgot. I've been talking about sleep all this time. I launched a sleep line. I finally put my name on something. You guys have been telling me to do it.
Wow.
Well, Dr. Oz Good Life, and it's an adjustable, it's a bunch of things, but the most important thing, we just released the data this week in a major sleep studies. We showed that using an adjustable bed reduces snoring and improves sleep. So the people who are the snorers out there, if you gently elevate the head of the bed, you can actually reduce your snoring dramatically and improve the quality of your sleep. The problem, of course, is these things have always been expensive. So I went to the biggest seller on Amazon, and these guys are making these things very affordable. So drozgoodlife.com, or come to my site, you'll see it there.
And I see the pillows. Okay. All right.
They're pillows. There's lots of good things out there. But most importantly, it'll get you to sleep, because if you sleep, you won't eat, which means you'll lose weight.
There you go.
Thank you, Dr. Oz.
Dr. Oz, it's the Breakfast Club. Good morning.
Everybody, it's DJ NV, Angela Yee, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. Let's get to the rumors. Let's talk DJ Khaled.
All right, well, Amazon Music has jumped into the podcast game. Now they have free podcasts that are available, and DJ Khaled got one, of course. Listen to this.
You already know my name. You already know what I do. I make hits. I make moments that last forever. And we breaking all the rules of the podcast game and tell the stories of some of the greatest in music history. I'm gonna be taping with the greatest musicians of all time. And most importantly, some of my best friends, the most iconic artists on the planet.
We have liftoff.
We'll talk about the fame, the fortune, life, success. These stories are here to motivate you, because everybody starts from somewhere.
Drop on the clues bonds for DJ Khaled and Amazon. I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at it at all.
The first one, and it's developed by Amazon and LeBron's Spring Hill Company.
Salute to my guy Kaz, real life Kaz out there. Kaz, salute to you. Kaz is over there moving and shaking things. Podcasting has become a huge part of the business, and some of the best podcasters got popping from doing other things. Comedians, rappers, athletes. Joe Rogan used to host Fear Factor, so don't hate when you see Khaled getting in that podcast space, because your favorite podcaster used to do other things too.
Mm-hmm. All right, Jada Pinkett Smith and Will Smith also have an untitled podcast project that's going to be coming as well.
They got to title it Entanglement. I mean, you just have to, just for marketing and promotional purposes, because life is an entanglement.
Yeah, it is, but I don't think they want that.
I seen him name the song called Entanglement. When we think
they
Will
just
and
put the
Jada
video
now,
out too, by the way.
Exactly. When you think Will and Jada now, what's the first? If somebody say, "What's the first word that comes to your mind when you think Will and Jada?" What do you say?
Entanglement.
Exactly.
No, I really think
you got
then I think entanglement.
Run with that with the podcast. You can
All right, now
financially entangled.
There you go.
Jaden Smith is launching a racial and social justice series that's going to be on Snapchat, and it's called The Solution Committee. Listen to this.
I'm Jaden Smith, the Solution Committee, and welcome. The show where we bring people together to talk about complex issues. Why don't young people vote?
Politics can be very uncomfortable. It can be very daunting for people, especially young people, when they want to change the world. Like, how does one do that?
Today's topic is education. Today's topic is racism, climate change, the power of vote, and climate racism.
So he's trying to understand what young people can do to create change.
I love it. I mean, listen, people like to sit around and discuss all the problems. We'll talk about how bad, Trump and this administration is all day long, but what solutions are you presenting? So I'm not mad at the young man for trying to figure out some solutions for his generation to get his people engaged, his age group engaged.
Well, that show will premiere September 21st, right before National Voter Registration Day, which is September 22nd. Some of his friends and family members include Hailey Bieber, Common, Janelle Monáe, Phoebe Robinson, Yara Shahidi, Lena Waithe, Willow Smith, and all of that. All right. Well, I'm Angela Yee, and that is your Rumor Report.
All right. Thank you, Miss Yee. Charlamagne, who you giving that donkey to?
We need William Barr, Attorney General, to come to the front of the congregation. We'd like to have a word with him.
All right, we'll get into that next. Keep it locked. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning.
Donkey of the day for Friday, September 18th, goes to a man who is undermining the presidential election, one of Trump's top political goons, Attorney General William Barr. The head of the DOJ is one of the main people planting the seed of doubt in people's heads about the upcoming election. Donald Trump said that the only way he loses the election is if the election is rigged. If William Barr was an uncompromised AG who wasn't in Trump's pocket, he would challenge Trump on that and tell him, knock it off. Okay, all that unsupported rhetoric, but no, William Barr doesn't care about the country or the people in it. He cares about the party. He cares about his president, and he cares about power. But that's not why William Barr is getting donkey today. It's a much more simple reason. See, William Barr compared the stay-at-home orders issued by governors to mitigate the spread of coronavirus to slavery. I repeat, Attorney General William Barr compared stay-at-home orders issued by governors to mitigate the spread of coronavirus to slavery. I can't make this kind of stuff up. Let's go to CBS This Morning for the report, please.
Putting a national lockdown, stay-at-home orders is like house arrest.
At a conservative Constitution Day event in Virginia last night, Attorney General Bill Barr said this of quarantining nationwide.
It's, other than slavery, which was a different kind of restraint, this is the greatest intrusion on civil liberties in American history.
Barr also criticized the Black Lives Matter movement.
They're not interested in Black lives. They're interested in props. A small number of blacks who were killed by police during conflict with police, usually less than a dozen a year, who they can use as props to achieve a much broader political agenda.
But the data shows that 250 black people were killed by police last year alone. Black people are more than 3 times more likely to be killed during a police encounter than white people.
I hate every single person who compares anything in this modern day world, except for prisons, to slavery. Seriously. Prisons are the closest thing we have to slavery, and that's because that's what they were designed to be. Please take a quick break from watching Girlfriends on Netflix this weekend and watch 13th by Ava DuVernay. Just take a break. Watch how the 13th Amendment abolished slavery throughout the USA and ended involuntary servitude, except as a punishment for conviction. Okay? Everything else y'all comparing slavery to is absolutely not even close. If you compare the NFL, the NBA, the music industry to slavery, you are an embarrassment to your ancestors. And you absolutely need to go read a book, okay? Go read the 1619 Project or listen to the 1619 Project podcast hosted by Nicole Hannah-Jones to really get a grasp on what slavery was and the consequences of slavery that still impact us now. Hey, William Barr, instead of fighting against the 1619 Project with your president and calling it propaganda, sounds to me like you need to educate yourself, because if you remotely think that stay-at-home orders for coronavirus were the worst intrusion to civil liberties since slavery, my God, when a person says when a person says something like that, they have to be an old white man, because old white men have no idea what the rest of Americans go through because their lens is always through the eyes of colonization. If William Barr had any empathy for what others go through, he would know not only have our civil rights been violated, our basic human rights have been violated. That's what slavery was. It was a violation of human rights. We talking about basic human rights. The basic human rights of life, the right to education, protection from torture, freedom of expression, the right to a free trial. We can't even get past the first one in regards to slavery. Hell, we can't get past the first one now, okay? The right to life. You can't tell me that he cares about our lives when William Barr is dismissing the very organization, the movement, that is out there fighting for what? Our Black lives. Okay, salute to the Black Lives Matter movement. William Barr says stay-at-home orders to slow down the spread of a virus that is killing people is the greatest civil rights violation since slavery. Just skip over the whole Jim Crow South segregation era. Just skip over the whole civil rights movement. Forget, things like being passed over for a job due to discrimination. Forget fair housing rights violations. Forget police brutality, illegal searches and seizures. All of that pales in comparison to being told to stay at home so you don't catch a potential virus and die, or stay at home so you don't spread a potential virus and kill someone. I think that we need a virtual reality slavery simulation. I'm serious. America will never truly know where it's at unless we know where we came from. And when I hear people always undermining American slavery, and they make it seem as if slavery is simply not being able to do what you want to do. They make it seem like you were just under someone else's control. You got guys like Kanye saying slavery was a choice, comparing slavery to oppressive contracts in the music industry, not understanding that it's levels to oppression. And I don't like to do the oppression Olympics, but trust me, your stay-at-home orders for Corona and bad music industry deals pale in comparison to the murder, rape, infanticide, and other physical abuse that happened during slavery. And I think y'all need to feel that. Okay, we need a virtual reality slavery simulation. So whenever people make these false comparisons to slavery, they have to go spend 48 hours in this virtual reality slave world and actually experience the violence of slavery. Yes, I'm talking real whips across the back, all of that. All of that, okay? Y'all don't understand and will not understand the full range of human emotions that slaves possessed, okay? You couldn't even understand that trauma. You never experienced that type of pain emotionally, mentally, spiritually, and definitely not physically. You can't take an attack from social media without wanting to die or kill yourself. And you comparing what you going through in 2020 in sports or in the music industry or stay-at-home orders because of coronavirus to slavery? Please let Chelsea Handler give William Barr the biggest hee-haw.
Hee-haw, hee-haw. That is way too much Dan mayonnaise.
Jesus Christ, man. What is wrong with us? And once again, slavery was not just a violation of civil rights. It was a violation of basic human rights. Number one, the right to life, period.
All right. Well, thank you for that donkey of the day. Now,
Yes.
earlier we had Dr. Oz on, and Charlamagne got a little excited.
No, I didn't get excited. You was trying to be funny because of this story that happened in Jacksonville, allegedly. I don't know if this story is true. In fact, I know this story is not true, but I kind of want it to be true just because it's funny. A Florida man shot a male doctor during a prostate exam in Jacksonville. He didn't kill the doctor. He just shot him because as he was getting the prostate exam, he ejaculated. And Envy got excited, and I found out why, and he asked Dr. Oz this.
This morning, Charlamagne sent me a text about how when he went to the doctor, he got his prostate exam, and he had an orgasm. Is that normal?
That never happened.
Now, it has come to my attention that Envy has gotten prostate exams. It's come to my attention that Envy gets a prostate exam twice a year.
Did not say twice a year.
You did?
No, I didn't.
How many times a year?
Once. Every time I get my examination, I get a prostate exam.
How many times have you gotten a prostate exam?
Twice.
In your life?
Yes, twice in my life.
Did you get a second opinion, as Dr. Oz said?
Yo, come on, man. Stop that, man. Stop that.
Two fingers up there is a second opinion, according to Dr. Oz.
No,
did you come?
Every
did
time
you
I go to the
ejaculate,
doctor-
Envy?
No, I did not.
Okay.
What about you? Did you?
I've never had a prostate exam.
Oh, really?
I can't wait to see if I ejaculate. I've thought about that every day of my life since Stifler on American Pie, since I saw that back then.
All right, so what's the question, man? What's the question, guy?
I want to know if you've ever ejaculated during a prostate exam. Not you, Envy, but just people who have gotten them, because people are saying this is so common. I would like to know if you've ever ejaculated during a prostate exam.
Now, I'm not gonna lie, it's uncomfortable. It just seems it's mad disturbing. You know?
Why is it disturbing?
A man is sticking his finger in your butt. What do you mean? What do you mean? What is it disturbing? Yes, it's disturbing. Yeah, I get a prostate exam. I'm the type of person, like when I hear something online or somebody dies or somebody got prostate cancer, I get scared and I go to the doctor. So I go every year and I make sure I'm checked everything. I make sure I'm 100% checked out. Why? Because I'm the breadwinner in my family and I want to make sure I am okay. So yes,
and you deserve a good time. So I'm sad that you haven't gotten to ejaculate during your prostate exam, but we want to know, have you? Call us right now. You know why? Because it's Freaky Friday.
It's not. This is something that doctors do. Now, when I went, they was like, "Would you like your
might
wife?"
encourage people to get prostate exams.
They was like, they was like,
"Oh, we gotta go. We gotta go to break. We gotta go to break."
It was like, "Would you like your wife to leave the room?" I'm like, "No, she's staying right here with me." All right. All right, 800-585-1051 is the Breakfast Club. Good morning. Hey, Envy, Angela Yee, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. Now, Charlamagne the God.
No, you didn't do it. You got to do it.
It's just not Freaky Friday, bro. This is
it is, man. Come on, man.
You're
Do
kinky.
it. Come on. Well, just ask me.
All right, Charlamagne. Today's Friday, so what does that mean?
It's Freaky Friday.
Why are you laughing? Why are you giggling? All right, so explain to everybody your story, your situation.
Well, there was a fake story that was going around, and it was about a Jacksonville man shooting his male doctor because during a prostate exam, this man ejaculated. And so Envy was trying to be funny, and he asked Dr. Oz this.
This morning, Charlamagne sent me a text about how when he went to the doctor, he got his prostate exam, and he had an orgasm. Is that normal?
That never happened.
Now, let the record show that when I brought this topic up for Freaky Friday, I had a lot of resistance in the room, which isn't new. But Envy was really being resistant. Come to find out, Envy has had 2 prostate exams. So I would like to give Envy a round of applause because he just didn't want to admit to the world that he had a man's finger in his butt. But tell us, Envy, about the experience. On a scale from good to amazing, how much did you love your prostate exam?
All right. Well, I mean, I think we all in the room had a finger in our butt before. Mine was from a doctor. Charlamagne was just from.
What?
We're not going to say.
You're in the room by yourself, first of all.
Don't judge me and my wife.
You're at home.
Don't judge me and my wife.
I didn't say your wife. Before you were with your wife, you were with. Never mind. I'm not going to go there. I'm not going to put things out there like that.
What are you talking about?
How you just Donald Trump me just now? Exactly. You just make up something? My God.
I mean.
Anyway, on a scale from 1 to
I'm not doing that with you. But what happened is, I am somebody when I hear something on the news or I see something, I start thinking that I have the same problem, the same disease. I have had an ingrown hair and thought it was a cancer bump. So I seen something on prostate cancer, and I said, you know what? I have to get my prostate checked out. So for the last 2 years, yes, the last 2 years, when I go to the doctor and I get my physical, they give me a prostate exam.
Okay, one finger.
All right, well, kudos to you for being responsible.
I don't know. I didn't turn around. I didn't look back at him and say, hey, doc, 1 finger or 2.
How does it feel, though? Does it feel like something you could ejaculate from?
It feels uncomfortable. It feels like this is pause. It feels like he just says, yo, bend over, drop your and put your pants down. Like it's why you dancing?
Drop down and get your eagle on, girl.
That's what it feels like.
Get your eagle on.
There is no foreplay. There's no hair. I'm gonna do it sensual. No, he just like that. It's just like a.
What do you think? You think he enjoyed it?
No,
I can't tell. But you know what? Going to the doctor is normally not an enjoyable experience. You know, as a woman, we have to get exams all the time, and they're always sticking things in us. And they're always telling me like, "All right, just take a deep breath," because I get super nervous.
So you think this whole ejaculating? You think this whole ejaculating from prostate exam things is a myth, is what y'all are saying? Even though we've seen it on American Pie with Stifler. Okay, talk to me.
I did look it up.
Tell me.
And it did say that it's more of an urban legend, myth, funny story, but it's more rare. It's not something that happens frequently.
It's not something you leave and then be like, yes, that was great. No, it's something you leave and be like, this mother effer, I think he owes me 5 minutes. Matter of fact, I'm gonna wait outside after his job is over and I'm gonna fight him. That's how it feels. It doesn't feel like.
So when you said you looked back at the doctor, what position were you in?
I did not say I looked back at the doctor. Charlamagne asked me how many fingers was in there, and I said I did not look back at the doctor.
Envy looked back at it. That's what I'm talking about.
But when you get a little older, like
you keep saying butt. Why do you keep saying butt?
When you get a little older, you want to make sure that you get yourself checked out, because prostate cancer, if they catch it early, it can, they can treat it. You don't want to put yourself in a position where you catch it too late and it can't be treated.
I think everybody should go get a prostate exam. I'm just simply asking the question, have you ever ejaculated from one? Okay.
No, I have not. What about
it might give people more incentive to go. I haven't gone to get one yet, but I promise you when I get one, I cannot wait to come back and reply and tell y'all if it went down.
Okay, now let me ask you a question, another Charlamagne. So when your wife put her finger, did you ejaculate?
No.
You did. It took you too long. You did. You did.
It wasn't that much pressure applied. I'm sure the doctor would.
Anyway, y'all gotta stop being embarrassed about this. This is where y'all G-spot.
I love it.
So there you go. That's all we needed to know.
I got a doctor for you with long fingers. Hello, who's this?
This is Sherelle.
Sherelle, why are you calling about this topic?
Yeah, I don't know if you can answer this question, Sherelle. Maybe she went with her husband. Sherelle, did you go with your husband and did you, or maybe she's a doctor. Sherelle, tell us.
I am a certified medical assistant and I work in urology full time. And it is very common for that to happen only because the ejaculatory duct lies in the prostate. So it's very common for it to happen.
This is old
Really?
man talk this morning on Breakfast Club. Okay.
So you've caused that to happen to men?
Well, actually, I don't do it. The doctor does it, and I assist. Like, we do prostate biopsies, we do cystoscopies, we do all those types of things because we deal with that cancer.
Yeah, no, I don't want you assisting.
So the guy has an erection? He has an erection while this is happening?
Thankfully, I haven't experienced that yet, only because the guy's so nervous when they come to us that I don't think they're able to, honestly. But if they were to, it would be common because that duct lies right there in the prostate. So when the doctor goes in, that actually penetrates that duct, and it can cause you to ejaculate.
How old are these men?
Usually we see men late 40s, early 50s, because that's around the time where you need to start getting your prostate exams, because prostate cancer does lie in amongst men in 50 or plus. So it's very important that you guys get checked either by PSA, which is blood work, or that exam. And it's a very easy cancer to cure. So a lot of guys, especially black men, they are, what's the word I'm looking for? They have that pride that stops them from getting that prostate checked.
That's right.
And a lot of them die from it. But it's a very
good to be responsible.
Slow growth. Yeah.
Yep. Like I said, I want to be here for my kids forever.
Penetrated.
Now, when I did go, the doctor said it was too early. I'm not gonna lie. The doctor said it's a little too early for you, but I was like, no, I've been seeing things, so maybe it's a sign. So just check.
So technically,
I've seen it
Envy was
as young as 45.
Wow.
Cancer.
So technically, Envy, you was underage, and you talked your doctor into giving it to you anyway. Wow.
Correct.
I think we might have added some new lingo to the world.
What's that? Thank you, Mama. What's that?
Penetrate that duct.
Boy, shut up, man. See, it's because of you. There's brothers out there right there that should be going to get checked, and they're like, no, I ain't going to get checked.
I'm going.
You ain't penetrating my duct. You ain't penetrating my duct.
I'm encouraging all ducktails. Ooh, let's go.
Shut up. 800-585-1051. What is the question?
Have you ever ejaculated from a prostate exam?
Oh, my gosh. All right, it's the Breakfast Club. Good morning. Good morning, everybody. It's DJ Envy, Angela Yee, Charlamagne the God. We are the Breakfast Club. Now, if you just joined us, Charlamagne has this topic that is really turning them on.
First of all, ask me before we continue. Tell me what. Ask you. Give it to me. You give it to me.
All right. So, what is the question? Have you ever ejaculated?
Say it's Friday. Say let's go.
It's Friday, so you know what that means.
It's Freaky Friday. Now, today's Freaky Friday subject comes from this fake story where a Florida man shot a male doctor during a prostate exam because he ejaculated. The story isn't real, but it's hilarious. Envy actually asked Dr. Oz about it earlier. Let's listen.
This morning, Charlamagne sent me a text about how when he went to the doctor, he got his prostate exam and he had an orgasm. Is that normal?
That never happened.
Now, we've had callers call up here, a woman who's a doctor's assistant. She said it's a very common thing. And that's the question we're asking. Have you ever ejaculated during a prostate exam?
All right. So we have somebody on the line right now. Hello, who's this?
Dre.
Hey, Dre, what's going on, man?
All right. I'm chilling.
Have you ever had a prostate exam?
Okay, so no, here's the deal. I'm going to try to be as professional as I can because I know this is the radio.
Okay. Yes, sir.
No, I haven't, but I have given them.
You did too.
And
you've given them?
I'm a gay dude. Yeah, I've given them. I'm a gay man. I only deal with straight dudes, right? So here's.
Are you a doctor?
No, I'm not a doctor.
Can I ask you something? How can you be a gay man only dealing with straight dudes? Because aren't they not straight if they're dealing with you?
Very true, Angela.
They're attached. They're attached. And it is 2020, so we're not going to go there. But the thing is, when you're down there doing your thing, I'm talking about oral, sometimes they like to take their time. And so when they take their time, if you just stick your finger in there, up there, works every time.
You're not a doctor.
They're done.
No, he's not a doctor.
I don't like you. I don't like you. Calling up here and just telling us how you like to, put your digits in man's anuses. I want to talk to doctors. This is a professional conversation.
But he said he's professional. He said he's done so many. He's professional. He knows what happens.
Yeah.
He's got that was the subject.
Okay, true.
Right,
true. So
good.
you've made men
ejaculate by doing that. You want to be a doctor to call up?
Hello.
Yeah.
So you've penetrated men's ducts.
Yeah. All I'm saying is that it does cause an orgasm. That was the point of the call.
All right. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. You have a great Friday.
He's verified.
Thank you for your ducktail.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for your ducktail.
Ooh. Hello, who's this?
Denny.
Hey,
playing Tupac ain't gonna make this conversation no easier. Okay.
So we're asking the question: are you a doctor? Or you been there with your husband?
No, I work at a urology office, and it's very common for men to ejaculate during a prostate exam. It happened to me because he kind of like scooted up when it happened, and it shot at me.
Whoa.
No.
Yeah.
It hit you in the eye?
No, it got me on my top.
Oh my God! What did he say after that? What do you do?
He was like, I was just saying sorry, and like after that, like every time he saw me, he called me his nutty buddy, and I hated it.
He called you his nutty buddy.
What?
Oh my gosh!
What?
I like that at all.
Did he make another appointment for the next week?
No, probably like a month or so after, cause
another one.
So whatever Angela Yee Googled must have been wrong, because Angela Yee's Google said this ain't that
It was
common.
not very common.
But every every woman that's called up here that works in the doctor's office says this is pretty common.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Well, thank you, nutty buddy.
Let's go to another call.
And I'm not gonna lie. After Chadwick Boseman passed away, I scheduled an appointment, my earliest appointment, to get a physical and get myself checked out again. I just want to make sure. Like I said, I got 5 kids, a wife. I got a family that depends on me. I want to see my kids graduate, get married, go to school, and all that other stuff. So
I'm with you.
I want to make sure I'm as healthy as possible.
I just had a physical. I just never had a prostate exam, but I'm definitely going to get me a prostate exam. Can you go to another call?
What you doing later?
You better stop. What is this, man? What's up with y'all? We trying to have
All right.
Exactly.
The ladies are going to take a back seat here. Y'all go ahead.
Hello.
He's trying to take a back seat too. He's trying to take my back.
This is Trisha from Texas.
Hey, good morning, Mama.
Trisha.
Are you a doctor?
Okay, so it's Freaky Friday, right? And you said, Envy, you had a prostate exam, right? And your wife stayed in the room, right?
The second time, yes.
Okay. Well, was that considered a threesome?
I love our listeners. I love you, Trish. I love you so much. I love you.
This is
what
important.
Is your Cash App?
We're talking
I'm gonna
about
buy you lunch today.
We're talking about black men's health.
She asked a question and I want to answer. How dare you? When we have guests, you ask them questions and they answer. Now Trish asked you a question, you answer. Was that considered a threesome?
I guess if you want to consider it that, I guess because he was.
Yes,
I guess.
Yes,
I mean.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
That makes you happy.
Yes.
I hate you. Bye.
Yes. Trish, leave your Cash App. I'm gonna buy you lunch today.
I'm realizing that I don't like this show, man.
Thank you, Charlamagne.
I don't like this show.
Give it to the producer.
I give too much of me.
Dan, get it right now.
Okay.
All right.
I give too much of me on this show, and I don't like that. Like, I try to be honest to help my people out, and then y'all use it against me.
That's the whole point of being honest. Like, that's why I always tell y'all the best show content is your real life experiences. That's why you shouldn't have fought me on this topic earlier, because it made the topic so much better because you have actually had the experience. Now, when I go get my prostate examined, I will come back in here and tell you if my duct got penetrated and if I ejaculated. Okay?
Okay.
When you going?
Today.
And we can't wait to print out new hoodies. My God versus my prostate. Or the God versus my finger. That's what you want.
You probably just scheduled an appointment right now. Let's go later on today. I heard it's a great time, nutty buddy.
I get a random email from a Dr. Casey who wants me to come over.
We take all insurance. Don't even worry about it.
We don't even need insurance.
We don't even need insurance.
It's on the house. It's pro bono.
Pro bono. I hate y'all. We got rumors on the way.
Yes, let's talk about. Yes, let's talk about Odell Beckham Jr.
What a segue.
I want to close bar for a great segue from Angela Yee.
Now, you know he plays for the Cleveland Browns, but there's other Brown things that he wants to address.
Let's go!
I hate y'all. Man. I hate y'all. All right. Well, all right. We'll get into that next. And I'm going to start the mix off with Doodle Brown just because. All right. Let's talk Odell.
So, Odell Beckham Jr., you know he doesn't do a lot of interviews, but he sat down with Maverick Carter, and they discussed a lot of different things, and he did say that he is very settled in Cleveland.
Like, you feel at home in Cleveland now? Like, when you go?
Yeah, it feels like it feels good for us to be here. And just kind of, progressing in life and just... It's been very special. This is the first time I've ever been with somebody, like living with somebody and just with somebody. So I love her to death, and it's just been great.
It makes you feel good, though, right?
Yeah, definitely.
It's a good thing. It settles you.
Yeah,
you seem
knowing
more,
she got your back.
You seem more settled than I've ever seen you. It's because you were, and I knew it was her. And me and her was talking before you came.
She held it down for me.
Now, this had to come up, and this is about rumors about himself that he's heard, and there's one in particular that Odell thinks is funny.
Out of every rumor, situation, all the bullshit I've dealt with in my career, this was the funniest shit.
You must have laughed. Were you laughing at that?
My boy sent it to me.
Who sent this?
Ben sent it to me, and I seen it. It was like 7 a.m. when I was going to take my test, and I watched it, and I called him back in tears, crying. Like, I have never, ever in my life heard this one.
I feel him, and I'm glad that he can laugh at it, but man, F all that. Sue these people. Okay, I want everyone to be held to the same standard that we are held to. If you have a podcast, if you got a YouTube show, a blog, whatever your platform is to broadcast, you have to be held to the same standard as people in traditional media. The reason I can't say what I want to say, and Envy can't say what he want to say, and Angela can't say what she want to say, because if we report anything, if we say anything, we can get sued if it's not true. Media is media, and everybody should be held to the same standard. I don't care.
What if it is true?
Well, they got to prove it. Somebody got to prove it. And let's prove it in the court. And let's prove it in the court of law.
Then how do you prove it's not?
Well, that's what was.
That's difficult. Yeah, how do you prove that? You know what? It can't be proved unless they got pictures of video.
Well, guess what? I guarantee you one thing: if you start taking these people to court, these people will think twice about just getting on these platforms and saying anything for that exact reason.
This is up next.